Yo, teardroppers, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, TodalKaos. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I go live, and also head over to Twitch. Make sure you hit that follow. I go live there as well. Today, we're bringing you the patch notes, finally, for Off the Grid, the first one since the early release happened, and we're going to deep dive into them. Without further ado, let's take it. Alright, so first off, jumping into the optimization aspects of the game, which this game is not very optimized, so any kind of optimization, personally, I think is going to be terrific. So right here, performance improvements on all platforms, including PCs and consoles. 10 to 20% increase on lower end PCs, and then consoles, they're lower end, so they're automatically going to get the 10 to 20% FPS. Can't wait to see what that looks like. That's probably going to be 5, 10 frames. It's probably not going to be that much, but any kind of frames helps. And then 5% increase on high-end PCs. So that's not bad at all. Optimizations for the game are going to be great. Can't wait to see those. Moving on to weapon updates. These are all weapon updates all together. Optimized camera shakes for high RPM weapons. So things like Kite, M4, all that. Your camera shake is not going to be as aggressive. Maybe is how I read that. Optimized. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to think of this yet. Well, I guess when you, because it's a third person, so it's not going to affect it as much as a first person shooter would in these aspects. So I guess we'll have to stay tuned for this one. Can't wait to see it. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what this exactly does. It maybe helps with recoil control, not have your screen shaking so much. We'll see. Now, a huge one, Squall. I have been waiting for this one. All you KD farmers that have just abused the Squall, I can't wait to see you guys drop. Because all you've been using is the Squall and you know nothing else. I just can't wait. This is going to be so hilarious to watch your KD drop from a 3 to a 1 because you can't run up and squall somebody in their face and then they're immediately down. So this is going to be great. Default mag is 12. That was increased, I believe, from 9. So you do get more bullets. Extended mag goes up to 15, which I believe was extended to 12 to begin with. So that's okay. That's a good balance ratio. I do think it gave it too much. I think a good like a buff, if you will, to the mag could have been like 10 default and 13 extended, but that's just me. Reduce shots from to knock, so the amount of shots you need to knock somebody was 6, now it's 7. That's good, definitely want that. Damage also is reduced, 24 per pellet instead of 28. That's a massive decrease in damage. That is terrific. This gun was way overpowered. So hopefully both of these knock it down just a little. I'm hoping it's not too much. Like I still want shotguns to be viable. I don't want them to be absolutely broken, if you will, in the aspect of it just being terrible. I don't want that. I want them to still be like, you're up and close. I want you to win your fights with Squall. But at the same time, I don't want them to be, you can't even stand a chance if you're on the other side. So hopefully this goes well. The biggest one I really like is the RPM increase, which also is a kind of buff. I think it actually shot, actually, this is not my favorite one. My favorite one is both of these, probably. But the RPM increase from 320 to 350, I think was an error. I don't think that should have happened. It already shoots fast enough. You do not need more fire rate on this gun. It shot fast. So I don't think this should have happened. We'll see how it does in the game now. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer for me. That just turned me off of the whole nerfing aspect of it. So I think it's still gonna be good. Yeah. Moving down to the Flenser. Reduce shots to knock from 3 to 2. Reduce shots to knock from 3 to 2. So they made the Flenser stronger and it was already strong. Okay. Damage is now 30. Okay, they reduced the damage, and they also increased the fire rate of it from 80 to 90. It's only 10, but it's a it's not a burst or whatever you want to call it. Semi-auto. But that's a massive decrease in damage. Reduce shots to knock from 3 to 2, but then they reduce the damage. Yeah, flingers, I think flingers slept on, but if we were running the shotguns, definitely Squall is better. Now is a good time to check out the flinger since Squall got quote-unquote nerfed, and we'll have to see on both of the shotguns how it works, but I think flinger is really good, and now it's reduced to 2-shot downs, so that's probably going to be really good now. We'll see, and with an increase in fire rate, it'd definitely be worth checking out. Moving to the Vulture, the default mag increased to 35. The Vulture, I believe, had a 30-round mag to default, and then the extended mag is now 42. I believe it went up to 40 when it was extended. The drum mag increased to 54. I don't remember what the drum mag was before because I don't use the Vulture. I don't think it's valuable, but yeah. Having more bullets in your mag is always good. I don't think it had enough because you couldn't even one-shot somebody with the mag, so maybe now with 35 you can. Same thing goes for the Partisan as I'm looking down here. The default mag is increased to 40. It was 30 as well. So this is a big because Partisan's pretty weak right now. Drum mag increased to 54. Extended mag increased to 46. Both of these, I believe, were not able to one-shot or one-clip somebody with their mag. So hopefully now they'll be able to when you pick it up or something. And we'll see how that works now. So now moving on to Cyberlimbs. Cyberlimbs, the Paralyzer. This was broken, dude. I'm so glad this is getting a nerf. Let's go ahead and jump in and read it. Remove the ability that prevented sprinting or mantling while under the Paralyzer effect. That's huge. People now can get paralyzed. They won't be able to use Cyberlimbs, but they can still at least have a chance to run away or mantle something when they have a chance to fight. So if you're a better player, you have a chance to, if you get hacked, you can sprint away instead of just standing there for 3 seconds letting the guy that had a lucky Paralyzer shot on you just sit there and spray you down because you can't move at all. I like that. I really like this change. I love it. So the good players are going to start to prosper here while the other players, they're bad. The bad players are not going to prosper as much. Projectile decreased by rarity. So you got 2, 2, 2, 3, 3. That's the same, isn't it? Because that purple you had 3. At purple you had 3, right? Let me know down in the comments if you remember how much the projectile you get. I'm pretty sure it's 3. So this is no decrease right here. Yeah, I don't know. Stun reduced from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. Nice. That's massive as well. So Paralyzer. Yeah. So I don't think it's nerfed to the ground. I think it's still going to be good because you can paralyze them and they won't be able to use their stuff to get away. They're going to have to actually play the game and sprint or mantle something and get over a wall, get around a wall, something. And then if they give themselves 2 seconds, they can start playing the game and actually fight them 1v1 again or whatever it is. So I think that's good stuff for the Paralyzer now. Next, addressed an issue where player cannot unholster weapon after using Paralyzer. That's big because I was using Paralyzer and I could, every time I land or like right after using it, no gun. And I'm like, bro, come on. This is like such a big aspect of the game. You need the gun. This is a shooter, right? How are you gonna play the shooter game if you can't even bring your weapon out? So that's massive. I love that fix there. Great job. Next, addressed an issue where the jetpack disabled icon didn't show for full duration on Slam Fist. That's nice to know. That big ass red square that's flashing in your face. That's what they're talking about here. And sometimes after using Slam Fist, it didn't show up, so you didn't know your jetpack, and then you would just like fall off, and then you can't use your jetpack, and you just scream to your death. That part was funny, but I'm glad it's fixed. So next, address an issue where the possibility to use Ghost ability was blocked when spamming the activation button during the landing roll animation. Okay, so you'll be able to use it when you're rolling now, which is good because you can basically use everything else for the most part when you're in those animations. So that's nice. That's a good change for the Ghost. That's really good. Next, an issue where Paralyzer scan ability didn't work in the tryout zones. Okay, so yeah, you can try your stuff out in the tryout zone. Same thing where Ghost didn't work in the tryout zone. That's good. So you can go into the tryout zone and start working on that stuff. For those that don't know, the tryout zone is basically the firing range, or just a separate section where you can try out the Cyberlimbs for yourself and see how they work and see different aspects of it. Try different things that you want to try, like, and then take it to the game to help yourself get better. Next is fix the bug where Slam Fist didn't work when both arms were Slam Fist and used consecutively. Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So this is saying when you used one, the other one wouldn't work right after, basically. That's a good fix. Always love to fix those bugs. Next, address an issue with Buzzkilla, where the shoulder joint disappeared if the arm was equipped after Phosphorus Fury. It's a good bug to fix. There's running around with no shoulder. Some of the stuff is pretty funny, but it's nice to see them fixing this stuff. Updated the Skunk Paws icon in the panel. Okay, I can't wait to see what that looks like. Fix an issue where the Slam Fist of visual effects would always stay active after the limb was reattached. So if it like came off or you got shot off and you reattached, the visual effects was like the whole screen was always the Slam Fist screen when you're going in, like kind of like the dazed look. That's a good fix. Don't want to be running around the whole time with that effect. Next is fixing an issue where the Slam Fist visual effects was visible on players that used Ghost. Where the Slam Fist visual effects was visible on players that used Ghost. Are they talking about this? I think they're talking about the square. So if somebody used Ghost, or maybe if you have both Slam Fist and Ghost, the visual effects stayed no matter what if you had the Ghost, versus if you just reattached Slam Fist and you had something else on the other arm. Maybe that's what it's talking about. A lot of Slam Fist fixes here though, so that's nice to be seeing that. Slam Fist can now be used coming out of jetpack, so if you're flying, you unjetpack yourself, then you can use Slam Fist. That's pretty cool. So you could be flying, leave jetpack area, and then click your Slam Fist and slam on somebody. That's pretty funny. That's pretty cool. Console updates. Love to be seeing these for you console guys out there. Fixed an issue where haptic feedback didn't work on Xbox controllers. So if you like the vibration and stuff when you're doing abilities or shooting and stuff, they fixed some feedback for that. Set default scope sensitivity on controllers to 3. It was up from 2, so most games actually do 3-3, so that's nice. Fix an issue on Xbox where a login error message was displayed when booting the game with no internet connection. I don't see how that's an error. If you have no internet connection, how are you going to play the game? Like, you can't play the game at all. You can just get to the menu, but there's, like, I guess you can't. I guess if you can't log in, you can't even get to the menu, so I guess that's what it means. Address an issue on PS5 where the squad system became inoperable after the squad has played a match and proceeded to the lobby. Yeah, that's a good fix. I don't want to see Apex Legends where you have to leave the lobby every single time again. So that's a great fix for them. Address an issue that allowed players to change the controller binding for Profile 1 and 2, causing bindings to not be accepted on Xbox. That's always good. Definitely don't want any bugs coming in for controller binding. You know, we want you guys to be able to have all your controller settings you have. So when you jump into a lobby, especially for crossplay, we can just mow you over. But we want you guys to kind of stand a chance. We know PC players are just going to run you over anyway. I know that auto aim is broken and you really don't need it. I didn't need it when I played back in the day for PUBG when there was no aim assist. You don't need it. Just get better. Moving on. Fixed an issue where the hotkey for Connect companion app didn't work on PS5 and Xbox. That's nice. Now you guys can get all your stuff right there on your phones. Check out all your stats. Look at other players, all that stuff. Various bug fixes and changes. Now moving on to the more juicy stuff here. Just kind of take a preview. Okay, so this is the last section. First up, we got addressed various issues with crashing. So that's nice. Less crashes is always good for the game. Lots of visual bug and collision fixes, optimizations, set dressing updates, and fix the floating objects. This is always good. Don't want to be seeing floating people in the air and there's nobody there. Address an issue where a not owned ninja set remains equipped on character after it was applied in preview. That happened to me. I had the ninja set on, I took it off, and it was still there in the next game. I don't like that. If I change my appearance, it's because I want to change it for the next game. Next is sometimes loadouts were not saved with error 3411 after saving loadouts with changed attachments. That was big. I changed my attachments a lot. I didn't get the changes into the next game. Even when changing my loadout completely, changing different guns, checking out new guns, all that stuff, it would still be the same loadout as before when I moved into the next game. I believe this was just by putting ready and then going in and changing the loadout. I think that's where the fix or where the bug happens. So if you don't ready up, you change your loadouts and then you go to ready up after you're done changing your loadout, I think it works because I haven't had an issue doing it that way. Oh, it's only been when I readied up. So we'll see if that's fixed in here as well. Next, fix the typo of Osprey name on a marketplace promotion banner. That's funny. I think they didn't have the S in there when there was a typo in there, so I think that was funny. Just common human error when they are coding the game. Address an issue where teammate nicknames could sometimes disappear. Yeah, so when your teammate is running and you have their name above them, they like have a bug where they run in front of you or something and their name didn't show up, so you start shooting them. So that's a good fix. It's always good to know who your teammates are if you don't have good map awareness or know where they are or anything like that. Moving to the next one, occasionally new item badge on items that were checked already appeared again after match. Oh yeah, this is a big one for me. This is like my biggest pet peeve. So new item badge would still show up when you've already looked at the new item and hovered over them and cleared it. What I do think they need to add is a clear all function, because I've read them about 1,000 times now. I don't need to keep seeing all the new ticks. That's such a big pet peeve of mine. I don't know why, it just irritates me. But moving on. Address an issue where players were able to use zipline through the ceiling or wall at certain locations. I never ran into this, but I'm glad they fixed it because we don't want you guys going through walls and suddenly getting all the way to the top of a building or something that doesn't have a zipline go all the way to the top. That would suck. Especially when we're watching one way and then all of a sudden you're behind us and there's no way to get there. That's pretty good. That's a good bug fix. Next, address an issue where the auto reload trigger didn't trigger if the shooting button is released after the last round of the mag. That's good. Definitely want to reload our mags. Added VO for temporarily malfunctioning jetpack. I believe that's added voice. So it lets you know that your jetpack is now temporarily malfunctioning. So the little guy or the girl that pops up in the voice, the little voiceovers, that's what it is, voiceover, will let you know that your jetpack is broken. Next bug, Fixed a bug where the corpse pose was corrupted and stood in the air if another player character died out of player sight, and when players saw corpses after respawn. Okay. Nice to come around the corner and see a body standing right there, so you start shooting it and he's already dead. But it's nice to see that they fixed that. Fixed an issue where loot created could not be interacted with when 2 players called in a drone on the same spot. Just don't call your drone in on the same spot. That's a good fix for that as well. Come on, guys. Next is updated the currency icon in the HUD. Okay. You kind of see it. This is the currency, so I don't know what's the update, but that's what they updated the currency, so we'll see that. Next, fix an issue where drone goblins teardrop reward crate does not tip over after falling on an edge. So it just stays there and it looks like it's like should fall off and it's not. Yep. Next, the minimum personal assistant volume is now 10. They do not allow you to turn it all the way down. Wow. I don't like that, because if you're playing more competitive, like, I guess more competitive, it doesn't really matter, because if you're playing competitive, you should be able to hear this and be like, yeah, okay, there's my cue that my jetpack doesn't work or whatever. You know what I mean? So I guess that's a decent cue, but people that don't play competitive or don't care about the personal assistant volume, and like having this turned down, now you can't turn it all the way down. I'm not sure if I like that one. Next, fix an issue where the character disappeared after shooting off the left arm while aiming with the shoulder switch to the left one. Oh, so like you get immediate ghost if your left arm gets shot off while you're looking over the left arm. I don't know if it actually becomes ghost, because it would be just you disappear on your screen. So that's a good fix, I guess. You can actually see where your body is. Reduce jetpack damage duration from 20 seconds to 12 seconds. Oh, yeah. That's massive. Jetpack should not be broken for 20 seconds. I feel like when that happens, when my jetpack breaks or something, the 20-second mark, it feels like forever. Like, there's so many things I could have done within that 20 seconds. So this is a massive, it's almost half the amount of time. That's great. I love that fix. That's a huge one right there. So that's great. Moving on, last one here, definitely not least, improved character's behavior after interacting with diagonal zip lines. I think they're talking about the massive shaking there, but I am definitely glad that all these bugs are being implemented. Can't wait to see you guys on Teardrop Island and moving on from there. All right, Teardroppers, that's all for the latest patches in Off the Grid. What are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more updates, reviews, and live gameplay from your boy, TodalKaos. Until next time, keep surviving, stay sharp.